one more stop, and it's for heavy metal news. I think I'm hitting this on the good Christmas season. Jingle bell and a jingle bell and a jingle all the way. Shane will do it in heavy metal news style every fucking day. Oh yeah, it's that season again. Another jive talking and a jingle talking and a jive and 210 talking, and it's about the seasons of the time of year. What do you want under your stocking this? I'll tell you what I'd like in my stocking, maybe a little extra PayPal fund. That'd be nice. I could get myself my own fruit cake. Yes. Oh, that sounds fun. In a singing song tonight, heavy metal news, heavy metal news, heavy metal news. Give it to you Christmas season, motherfucking heavy metal news. I'm thrown off a little bit by this fella here. Look at this guy. Mike did that. Mike Buchanan did that. And I'm just like looking at that guy going, look at the power bangers on me. I've never squeezed a microphone that hard in my life. Look at this shit. That doesn't really look like me, does it? I'm not an angry person like that. Fire and brimstone behind me. You know, if I did thumbnails, this would be perfect. Welcome, one and all. Someone's listening to this podcast going, what the hell's going on? He's doing a lot of face stuff or something? I don't know. Welcome back, my friends, to Jive Talkin 210, and it was kind of a last-minute thing to do the festive holiday season music, Jingle Bells. I think that's what that is. It just came to me in the last second because I thought maybe I'm getting in before, because I can't do it after because it'll be after the fact of the holiday season, the Christmas holiday season. That special time of year where everyone kind of lowers the anger levels. They try. And just kind of get along with each other. It's the one day of the year where you go to a convenience store and someone opens the door for you. Oh no. And then you go, wow, that was weird. You didn't just barge through the door. Okay. And then we go back to our regular ways. But that's not what we want to do. We want to remember to be the best person that you can be. Even to the people that you think don't deserve it at all. I know that's really hard to say, and it's something that I'm slowly learning myself, but I want to welcome you to a fine heavy metal news episode of this podcast. We've got stories from Steve Harris, Jane's Addiction. That might pull my heavy metal card right there, because someone said you can't put Jane's Addiction in the heavy metal news, but they did get into almost an altercation on stage, and now I think that the big money pie just got big enough. They said, you know what? That guy may have tried to sock me in the mouth, but I'll go back out on the road with it because I love that money pie. Sweet Savage, Ray Holler, he talks about God bless Metallica for doing Killing Time. And I don't know if I know that song that they did. And I think that's the later days that Metallica did that, plus your comments and so much more. Thank you. I know this isn't the regular kind of a master podcaster type of thing, but that's all right because I like to do it my way. Now, do you see what Mike Buchanan's done here? Jive Talking with Shane Diablo. He's done an AI. And I'm like, my God, is that me? Is that really me? How did the AI... Did you have to feed it pictures like in Weird Science when they put the big breasts into the fax machine? And then, I mean, did you have to feed it photos of my face for it to come out? Because it's pretty close. I mean, the hair's a little unkempt and stuff, but, you know. I do have this little tuft, bizarrely enough. You know, he's got this little pile over here. But the one thing I'll say about this Mike is he's very aggro. I mean, the flames are burning behind him, and I'm just like up there like some kind of a madman delivering a speech. And I'm there should be like flowers and stuff behind me. Maybe me laying in a bed of roses. This is 3 minutes long, and you're not going to hear a lick of it if for some reason the AI machine has has copyrighted that for some reason. Miss Althea says, keeping it bitchy, keeping it raw down here at the bottom of this Jive Talking with Shane Diablo AI 3-minute video. That it's just crazy to me. But let's see what it says and does. I don't know if we're going to do the whole 3 minutes. Am I right? What the hell is going on? I mean, the guy was this tall, man. It's weird to look at myself so angry. I'm a very loving person. It's like, is that the way I look to people? Are you kidding me? You're telling me eggs are fucking $4? Yay! It's damn near got my teeth right too. The tongue. I couldn't tell you all about that, but all right, what's he going on?
If you know what I mean, Shane Diablo on the mic, bringing the heat. Jive Talkin podcast, it's a musical treat. Heavy metal new tales from the road, beyond the scenes where the legends explode. Shredding the norms with the punk rock flair. Grab your headphones, man, if you dare.
Sounds like Crowbar.
Got the crowd on fire with jokes and rants lifting us higher. As the clapping and toes are tapping like inspirations, metal heads snapping. Keep it bitchy, keep it raw. In this wild ride, there ain't no law. Keep it bitchy, keep it raw. In this wild ride, there ain't no law.
Oh, that's it, man. That's the ad. Let's put that up. Everyone go ahead and copy this. Take this video. Go to Mike Buchanan's page. Subscribe to his channel. Let's get this guy to 150,000 subscribers. Keeping it bitchy, keep it bitchy, keep it raw. Let's get that. Let's go there. Let's take that. Let's download that video. Then let's upload that on your own personal favorite page and put that all over the internet and make that the new jingle that gets people over here to find out all the great heavy metal news that's happening each and every episode of the podcast. That was a great way to end that. Good power bangers on here. I'd love to see what the tattoos, because honestly, I'd put that face on a shirt and say, if that face right there was putting an earbud in and saying, something about what was the first listed. Honestly, I'd put myself on a t-shirt. That AI really seems to be liking me. Everyone's going, I don't know about it, but I'm saying I'm really feeling like it's on my side here for once. Mike Buchanan, thank you for that. Anyone that's interested, go over, subscribe to Mike Buchanan's channel. Please download that, re-upload that all over across the wonderful world. If you live in Ghana or if you live in somewhere in Paris or wherever, it's theirs for you to have. Let's get into some heavy metal news. Steve Harris here says, I've always been a bit of a hoarder. Well, I keep dead cats and dirty diapers and a freezer full of owls and stuff. I've just always been a hoarder. But I don't think that's really what it's going to be. It's going to Iron Maiden stuff he hoards. And I know this to be the case because I watched a Nico McBrain Rock and Roll Ribs walkthrough. I did. Of his everything, all the memorabilia that's on the walls from all of his long career of being in Iron Maiden. I'll tell you, there's not a lot there. He does have a few pieces where he says, "Well, I had to try and steal it away from Steve Harris. He ain't gave me nothing for me restaurant." And I tried to get a hold of him, and I said, "Stephen, now you've got 3 airplane hangars full of bullshit. You mind if I have a bit?" Well, and he just gave him a little statue and like a little Egyptian cat and dog. So he likes to hoard it up. Stephen, what is it? Where's it all gonna go when you go? It's got to go somewhere. You could give a nice big portion of it to Nico McBrain in his restaurant. In a new interview with Neil Jones of Total Rock, Iron Maiden bassist Steve Harris spoke about the book Iron Maiden Infinite Dreams, the official visual history, which was released on October 7th via Thames and Hudson. Oh, it's a very good publishing terminal. Thames and Hudson, very fine work that they do. Iron Maiden Infinite Dreams, the official visual history, is described in a press release as a magnificent visual celebration of the first 50 years of Iron Maiden's chronicling the evolution of heavy metal's most prestigious band, with unparalleled, like the unparalleled bars. If you have paralleled, it's boring. With unparalleled input from the band members and their managers. This is just getting better and better. What was that one side story I wanted to feed to you? Maybe it'll pop up on another story or something. Asked if it was weird for him to have to look back while putting together the book after previously stating that he always looks forward and rarely gets nostalgic. Why, Harris, Mr. Steve ding ding fingers, Steve Harris, why? Well, it wasn't weird, I tell you, but it was difficult because I was the only one who could really do it, because I was the only one that had all the archive stuff and could comment about it and stuff like that. Really, I suppose Dave Murray, Iron Maiden guitarist, could have commented on a few things, but I suppose back in the day, I was the only sensible one at the time, because I had to be. Oh, you were the responsible boy the whole time? That's why he owns that band. If he was the responsible boy while everyone else was out goofing off. But I suppose, I've been watching this show, I'll tell you about it in a second. It's a balloon competition show of blowing up balloons. I watched the whole season of it. It was wonderful. Because I had to, I was the sensible one at the time, because I had to be. Because I pulled the bull by the horns and did a lot of the driving. So I didn't get sort of too drunk back in them days. And some people working with us back in them days can't remember a lot because they were sort of inebriated a lot of the time. People like Dave Murray or our old drummer. Drum Road or whatever. What? Our old Drum Road or whatever. So yeah. Alright. I'm thinking about that balloon show. I really want to so yeah. Alright. Your fucking balloon show, Shane. It's me talking about me being a hoarder. So yeah, it was down to me to sort of pull it all together, I suppose. The English always say that. They give themselves a compliment and say, I suppose. Well, I guess I was the strongest one here at the event, I suppose. And obviously, I had a lot of help from Ben Smallwood, I suppose. Maiden's longtime manager, Rod Smallwood's son. And so that was great. But yeah, it's all good stuff, really. But it's nice to get it out there, really. You put some in that restaurant. Don't tell me you couldn't put even a corner of an air hanger. He had Nico McBrain was really shooting for it there by the end of that. He's like, well, he's me Iron Maiden wall. Like, wall? What do you mean? Well, now when I say wall, I mean more section. Then he had Nico McBrain's memories of bands that he played with. So he's like, well, I played with Slaughter on one tour. So I got him to sign a bass drum head. So it's just kind of like rock memorabilia that he's collected from other people, but there's a portion of it that's Iron Maiden. And what I'm trying to say, as eloquently as I can, perhaps I need a bit of my beverage to do so, is even one little corner, like where you would set an extra set of tires to an airplane, you could give that stuff in that corner to his restaurant and numbers would go through the roof. Come and see all of the original stuff from the Peace of Mind tour. Now over at Rock and Roll Ribs, Nico McBrain's Rock and Roll Ribs, over off the highway. You'd have something there. And it would be a good thing, and it's not collecting dust on it. And the first thing the kids are going to do when you pass, and we know this, Stephen, don't we, is they're going to get rid of it, all of it. Put it on eBay. Get it out. Because we got to sell this property too. We're moving to the moon. Asked if he was always a bit of a scrapbook keeper who deliberately hung on to stuff. So he said, well, I've always been sort of a bit of a hoarder. Well, I told you earlier, I used to collect me dead cats and dirty diapers and a fridge full of frozen owls, I did. I suppose with stuff like that, but it's come in handy in later life, I think. There's so much stuff that I've kept, and yeah, it's just an archive of this historical stuff. And in fact, I suppose these days, I wish I'd kept more, even more stuff. I wish I'd kept a diary for longer as well. I did see a clip. Was it him on the 747 Iron Maiden hangar? That documentary they did. But I want to say there was a couple of snaps where I saw Steve Harris writing in a journal. And I said, I wonder what the brilliant mind of Steve Harris is writing in that journal. Steve Harris is flying Bruce Dickinson is literally flying the plane. Remember that documentary? Oh, man. Because I only kept a diary in first place just because to log really how much we were getting paid. Or how much we weren't getting paid in some cases, I say true. And then I used to make a few notes on what the gig was like and stuff like that. But I wish I'd carried it on, really. I really do. Iron Maiden's Infinite Dreams was described in a press release as a truly spectacular and beautiful book featuring never-before-seen items and photographs, which you will not see in Nico McBrain's restaurant, which have been curated with enormous attention to detail over a number of years. Organized chronologically, Iron Maiden Infinite Dreams tells the story of Infinite Dreams, the band for their first pub gigs in 1975 and their first record deal in 1979, through the recording and reception of groundbreaking albums, including their self-titled album 1982's global breakthrough, The Number of the Beast, and the stadium-conquering Seventh Son of a Seventh Son. And the stadium-conquering Seventh Son of a Seventh Son to the 2021 hugely acclaimed double album Sunjutsu. And the ongoing Run for Your Lives World Tour. These guys, I want to see what it says about Eddie down here and Derek Riggs, and we're going to get the hell out. But these guys are touring maniacs. Can we say that about Iron Maiden? He says, I'll rest when I'm dead, I will. I said, why don't you just take a year off, Stephen? Just to go be a beach bum, Stephen, for just a year's time or something like that. I says, no, I'll do all that when I'm dead, I will. The book traces the evolution of Iron Maiden's iconic, and really, let's just say it now, he is the most iconic heavy metal icon, right? Mascot. Someone may say Vic Rattlehead of Megadeth, but they're tugging on each other's taters right there. Eddie Mascot okay, I'll read that again. The book traces the evolution of Iron Maiden's iconic Eddie Mascot alongside exclusive comments from his creator, Derek Riggs, and documents the band's spectacular and complex stage production and extensive live tours, including the Somewhere Back in Time World Tour of 2008, which made international headlines as Bruce, the Dickinson. He's never heard his name sang like that. I'll tell you that right now. And he never will again, unless I choose to do so. Someone get this to him and say, do you want to hear a man sing your beautiful name into the ether, into the frequency, into the unified field, into the quantum field? Would you like to see Shane do that? You got to make it to this far in the podcast to hear that again, because I ain't a two-note sister, what they call us. You get the song once, next time you got to pay for it, okay? Or you can just rewind. Now, what is it going to say here? Extra news that I've already given you. If you didn't know that Bruce Dickinson was an airline pilot, and he wears the little shirt and the badge and the wings to prove it. Headlines, international, Bruce Dickinson piloted the band's very own Ed Force One 757. Pardon me. I think I called it a 747. I do not want to piss off any airmen that we have out there. Look at this. When you gonna get it? Gonna give you the grid. He's gonna give it. This guy says, I've had enough of this. I think I'm a lot sweeter than this man. But this guy you don't frick with. You don't fricassee this guy, do you? You know another guy you don't fricassee? This guy's right here. This is... Who is it? Where am I? Okay, this is Perry Farrell. And this is the guy that does Ink Masters. Now, I'm not saying he does all the Ink Masters, and he does get a couple of them tattoos if we were close enough to see him. They were given from contestants on the Ink Master. I saw those seasons. But he's at least 10 seasons of Ink Master. And he's also Dave Navarro, lead guitar player for a band you may have heard of called Red Hot Chili Peppers for one album. And this band, Jane's Addiction. And we're not going to watch it or replay it or anything else, but if you know anything about the Jane's Addiction situation, then you know that Perry Farrell came out and assailed Mr. Dave Navarro on the live stage setting during the concert, and that was the end of it. Well, we have come together one last time to resolve our differences. Now, what does one last time mean? We've come together one last time to squash the beef so we can get back to the money pie, or we have come together, we've managed to get together one last time to put a squash to this as humans, as Dave Navarro is Perry Farrell, on a cosmic level, on a higher, plane of existence. You understand? A higher dimension. They are the same being, so they've decided, let's come together against all odds and be done with it so we can go on about our lives. This is the story we're going to read. We're going to hear a little bit from Smooth Up in Ya. Mike Sweeta says he's back with the Bullet Boys. I want to know what Sweet Savage Killing Time Metallica. I think it's from that Garage Days 99 or whatever they did. And then your comments. Then there's a lot of them. So I'm trying to get through this the best that I know how. I'm trying to be the best man that I can be. Okay? Extra news, just a splash in extra news. Jonathan Cain on Journey's upcoming Final Frontiers farewell tour. He says, it just seems like a good time to get off. When I mean get off, I mean, finally get in bed together and get everybody. No. He's saying to get off the stage. Or maybe he is like, finally we're going to get off together. And I've been asking for it, and, that's initially why Steve Perry left the band. So I was going, hey, are we going to get off? Are we going to go get off? And he's like, I'm out of here. Get up. 22 positions in a one-night stand. Get off. I let a woman be a woman and a man be a man. Somebody somewhere is going, you ain't gonna fucking believe what false metal he performed for us this week on his podcast, my friend. What'd he do? He sang Prince's Get Off. You know that song? 22 positions in a one-night stand? And to that I would say, sir, how did you know those words? Perry Farrell and his Jane's Addiction bandmates, Dave Navarro. And the other guys, Eric Avery, okay, and Stephen Perkins, good drummer, have resolved their differences over the singer's on-stage altercation with Mr. Navarro in September of 2024 that forced the cancellation of Jane's Addiction's reunion tour. Now, the problem that they may get into it, but I think that it was an issue with his voice hasn't been holding up quite as well as he thinks it is. A lot of these singers do that these days. You know, they think it's not holding up quite as well as they think it is. And they were turning the music up over the vocal, and I think that's why he was getting pissed, as he thought Navarro was over there going, Earlier today, Wednesday, December 17th, Jane's Addiction released the following statement via their official social media accounts. We would like to clarify the events surrounding the cancellation of the tour after the show in Boston, being capital of the world, in September of 2024. After the show, without notice to Perry, we unilaterally determined it would be best not to continue the tour and made inaccurate statements about Perry's mental health, which we regret. Okay. Today, we are here to announce that we have come together one last time to resolve our differences so that the legacy of Jane's Addiction will remain the work the four of us created together. Getting off. Let's not kid ourselves. First week they got off. They said, well, we gotta do it. He says, you bet we are. Should we put Prince on? Get up. 22 and 1 night, get up. We now look forward to the future as we embark on our separate musical creative endeavors. So they put creative in there to say, indeed, we're going to say that Perry Farrell is a creative person. You can see his flamboyant outfits and say he's a very creative man. But we want to put our separate musical and creative endeavors. Jane's Addiction will forever live in our hearts. We are proud of the music we created together. You, the fans, are our lifeblood. And we will always appreciate you. Perry's piping in. There he goes.
To everyone in Boston and around the world, I'd like to address what happened on stage last year. I've reflected on it, and now I didn't handle myself. And I know, not now, but I know I didn't handle myself the way I should have. I apologize to our patrons and the bandmates for losing my temper and for disrupting the show.
But you had feelings, you had emotions that were bottled. There was things on your mind.
Jane's Addiction has been at the center of my life for decades. The band, the songs, the patrons,
And Lollapalooza.
and the impact that have had on music and culture mean more to me than anyone I could ever possibly write down.
You ever tried to write down a list of all the people that mean something to you in your life? Can't do it. It's a long list, isn't it? Or maybe it's a really short list. You say, no, I could write it on one hand. I could write it on one line. Can I tell you who you can always trust? You're going to say, you, Shane? No. This old fucking meat sack can never do you wrong. I'm not talking about mine. I'm talking about yours. But I also, too, will not do you wrong. I will never do you wrong.
My aim has always been to give our audience the best possible show. Something real, honest, and positive. In Boston, well, I fell short of that. And I'm truly sorry to everyone who was impacted.
You know, some little girl, somebody down there saying, "Oh my God," for 15 years old. And they're saying, there they are. It's Juana Seleccione, Mama. It's Juana Seleccione, Mama. And then she sees you guys up there smacking each other. How do you think that makes her feel? You know? The greatest moment of her life. From the bottom of my heart, I want to thank each and every one of you for your continued love and support, including Clementine, who was out there with her mother in the audience at that show and saw me playing the damn fool. Both of you were, okay? I thought Dave Navarro looked a little more puzzled by the whole situation, but then I heard old Dave Navarro gave you a couple swacks in the back room. But when you got off the porch, I don't know if that's real or not. I do not want to add falsities, but I heard that it got a little intense backstage. This past summer, and then we're moving on, guys. This past summer, Navarro, Avery, and Perkins filed a lawsuit against Mr. Farrell over the Boston concert, claiming intentional infliction of emotional distress. These guys used to share the same needles. Now there. I'm going to file it. You know, I mean, to be fair, I don't know if they were ever into the skunk junk, the dirty stuff, the spoon man. But whatever it was, they were fucking pissing all over the floor and sleeping in dirty, filthy places. And now, it's all about claiming intentional infliction of emotional distress and neglect, breach of fiduciary duties, and a breach of a contract. Says the man that's got tattoos around his nipple titties. Isn't it a bizarre, crazy world we're living in? While claims from Navarro include allegations of assault and battery over the incident. And we saw what we saw, Mr. Perry. Perry later responded to that lawsuit, listing 35 affirmative defenses, including claims that Navarro had unclean hands, failed to state facts sufficient to constitute a cause of action against, and failed to exercise reasonable care. These fuckers have never said those words except for when the lawyer man in the business suit and briefcase going to see the gavel man. Never said those words in your life. And now, well, Mr. Perry, if you don't mind, and as I speak, I am on the clock at $300 an hour, but well, if it was me and it had happened to me, he'd failed to state facts sufficient to constitute a cause of action against, as I would say, Mr. Perry. Failed to... Come. Let's get back to sweetness. Let's stop being savages and get back to the sweetness. Who does that guy remind me of? He looks cool. I see that picture and I think, out on the road today, I saw a deadhead sticker on a Cadillac. A little voice inside my head said, don't look back, you never look back. Ray Holler. I don't know who he is. I Sweet Savage. If I'm thinking properly, I'm thinking that was Vivian Campbell's band. Back in the day, that sounds familiar to me, but Ray Holler says, I owe everything. Or much, not everything, but much, to Metallica for covering his song Killing Time. And I'll be honest with you guys, I went and looked it up. I mean, we can't listen to it because you won't hear any of it. But I was like, I feel ashamed that I don't know. I don't know what that is. But he's happy that they covered that even on that not good one. Isn't that Garage Days? We want the 80s Garage Days, don't we? It had the weight on it, and it had Last Caress and all of that stuff. They were changing everybody's lives at that point. And they changed Ray Holler's life, and I want to know about it. And I am going to say, now that I see Belfast in here, indeed, where is Vivian Campbell from? Someone, somewhere, is talking about This guy don't know heavy metal news. I do. And my guts are rattling. I owe so much to Metallica for covering Killing Time. In a new interview with Spain's Maiden metal bassist and vocalist Ray Hoarder of Belfast metal pioneer Sweet Savage spoke about how his band gained wide recognition after Metallica covered their track Killing Time, co-written by Sweet Savage co-founder and future Dio Def Leppard guitarist Vivian Campbell. Extra news, he's extra news. And released it as the B-side of Metallica's multi-platinum single, The Unforgiven. Okay, let's talk Metallica for a second here. Have they done that Unforgiven song 5,000 times or what? Because wasn't The Unforgiven originally on the Black Album? And then there was Unforgiven Redo, and then Unforgiven 2, and then Unforgiven Be-Bop-A-Loo-Be-Doo, and then Unforgiven Poo-Poo on You. And I apologize for all of that, you guys. I apologize for every bit of that you just witnessed. I speak very openly and honestly. I know where Sweet Savage is. Oh, I can't do a Belfast. How does U2 sing a song? All is quiet, hallelujah. I speak very openly and honestly. I know where Sweet Savage is, and I know our place. Sweet Savage was near enough gone before Metallica recorded our song. I mean, the gigs were getting less, they were getting smaller, the tours were getting shorter, the money was getting less, and then you know, have that playing, and then Metallica brought out Killing Time. They asked our permission to do it, and you just about shit a loaf in your underpants. Dear, oh dear. There's a man on the phone for you, and he says he's talking about Metallica or something. I told him we don't have it. We take our cans downtown. We don't have a metal person that comes over here and, you know. And he said, no, Metallica, the rock and roll band, the biggest rock and roll band in the entire world. I said, hold on, I'll go get him. Ray. Yep. It was getting shorter. The money was getting, and then Metallica brought out Killing Time. They asked our permission to do it, and they put out Killing Time, and all of a sudden, it was like, whoa! The tours got bigger. The festivals got fucking bigger. The money got more. That had a massive impact. It allowed us to go and record the fact that, what? The festivals got bigger, the money got more. That had a massive impact. When the money got more, yes. When the money gets more, I prefer that. It allowed us to go and record a record. That's where I got the goof, guys. Record a record. It's the same word. Isn't that interesting? It allowed us to go record a record, but it's the same word. The fact that Metallica did that one song, and then with agents and promoters, they approached us. Hi. Would you like to come and do a show? You can do it by the Snake Pit, baby. Would you like to do a festival? Would you like to do this? It's all because of Metallica. If that hadn't happened, if Metallica hadn't recorded Killing Time, you and I wouldn't be having this conversation. I owe so much to Metallica for taking that one song, and to this ever-loving beautiful day, When they come to town, they give me a call. Yeah, yeah, Ray, how you doing? How you doing? See you tonight. Because they're going to give you tickets. Hey, Metallica's coming to town to Ray Holler's house. They give him a holler for damn sure, but they give him a ticket too. You want to come to the show? That's what they say. And to this day, when they come to town, they call me, hey, do you want to come to the show? So I go down and I see them, all being well. I'm going to see them next year. So I can't thank Metallica enough. I don't think they'll ever take another song. Oh, so he's hoping I don't think they'll ever do another one of our songs, one of our other old ratty little songs that's not good. But they've really helped Sweet Savage out so much by that one song. But, if they wanted to do another song, but, they did do that one song, so that's good. Ray also reflected on Sweet Savage's earlier days while Vivian was still a member of the band and before Campbell got an offer to join Dio. He said, well, Viv and I go back a long way to school days. And working with Viv was, and I call him Viv, we're very close. We were beneficial to each other because when Viv and I formed the band it was just a cover band. We were just playing Deep Purple covers of Black Sabbath, Thin Lizzy, Led Zeppelin, and we were just cover band. And we decided we would write a song. That fucking song was Killing Time. And that, my friends, is how beautiful the universe is. That is exactly how beautiful the universe is. I'm done with this. I don't need to hear another damn thing from Ray. I'm so proud of you, buddy. And he says, and if you're wondering, these are Varney top of the lines. Thank you, Metallica, for killing time. I can allow myself little pleasures in life like high-end sunglasses. And I love them, and I have a huge collection of sunglasses. And they are indeed top of the line because it's okay for me to have that little fun extra for me. For since Killing Time did so good. Mick Sweeta. Now, I don't know where Mick Sweet is hiding out. Now, if you guys know me, you know that I love that first Bullet Boys record. I couldn't tell you a damn thing they done elsewhere, but I love that first Bullet Boys record. It is sonically, it sounds great. Mark Torian's vocal is a pure powerhouse. The mix and master is just well executed. The song straight. The cover that they do. Everything about it. Not the cover art, but the cover song they do. And yes, indeed, my friends, I am going to have a mint, by the way. And yes, indeed, my friends, someone may very well say, well, dude, that's false metal too if you like Bullet Boys. And due to that, I say, you know what? I say, no, it's not. Okay? Because I can like whatever damn hell I want. I can turn on Depeche Mode and listen to that, then turn on the Bullet Boys and listen to that, and then turn on Napalm Death, and I'm still just as metal as I ever been, sweet sister. Okay? Oh, I'm looking for that news. Let's go back to Sweet Savage here. No, it's all the same page. I don't want to see Jonathan Cain. It's driving me insane, that Jonathan Cain. Yeah, he's on every page. I saw some other good news stories that we should have been doing. Yeah, there's another Johnny Cain. Whatever. Mike Sweeta is the guitar player. Now, you may know him, or you may have seen him on this podcast before. Yes, because Mike Sweeta is also the guitar player for the Rocket Mafia. And that is Ricky Rocket's hot rockin' new band. But he has unfinished business with Bullet Boys. He has said that he is back with Mark Torian. I don't know who else is going to be in the band. I'd love it for all of them to be in the band. Those four dudes. I don't know how easy that is to do. But anyways, nevertheless. And I want to say that drummer guy's still around because I want to say the drummer, the original drummer guy, yeah, Jimmy Diadanda, Adanda. Because I watched the Waste Some Time with Jason Green, and Jimmy Diadanda has been a fill-in drummer for Stephen Peartsy's Rat, and he's been a fill-in drummer for Slaughter, I want to say, or something like that. In a new interview with Matt Bingham of the Z93 radio station, Bullet Boy member Mark Torian, vocals, and Mick Sweeta, guitarist, spoke about the latest reunion of the band's classic lineup, in which they are joined by Lonnie Vincent, bass, and Jimmy Diadanda. So that means that's the originals. Is that the bass player? He cut all that hair off. He says, I'm just a little mohawk fella now. Should have kept it, did. So tickle your back there. Get a ponytail. Mick, as transcribed, he says, I love playing with these guys. And we've come to some agreements that weren't necessarily on the table before. And suffice to say that it's pretty momentous for all of us. And we're looking forward to sharing that with everybody, especially people that have never had a chance to see us. Smooth up in ya. I tell you right now, the minute I heard that on Headbangers Ball, dude, I'm rocking fucking Overkill and shit, dude. I'm telling you, I'm right now, yeah. I'm into it. I'm Hello from the Gutter. I'm fucking Testament. I'm you know. But it's smooth up in ya, so bang. It hits you right in the hips. You'd be crazy. It was a weird time where you'd literally be like, dude, he likes smooth up in you, dude. You know what I always did? I said, you goddamn right I do. I don't bow for no one. I am unbreakable, unbendable. I like what I like. And that's the way it is. Like Popeye. Like this guy. Fucking thunder arms. Where is he fucking on that? I'm showing those thunder fucking arms. Look at it. Now I got tattoos all over my arms. That's not my arms. That's somebody else's, of course. Oh, and you know this right here? You know right there's a crucifix. You know it. If you were to peep that up, maybe AI would say, no, put something better on there. You know, not, I mean, all you freaking, Christians, relax, okay? He said that, what's better than the cross? Calm down. Absolutely, I concur with that. With what? Oh, this is Mark. He's concurring with Mick Sweeta. And Mark, he says, I absolutely concur with that. In all the greatest ways you can concur with something. I'm just so excited that I'm just happy that Mick's back. It's okay. It's laughter, love and laughter. That's what they say now. They say, oh, love and laughter is what they say. I love him so much. He's the sound of this band. Well, he's the guitar riff of it, Mark, but you go ahead and tootle your own horn too. You're the fucking voice of it. Now, I have heard that there was some usage back in the day, but I'm glad that you guys are where you're at now with the heads on and head tight and right. I love him so much, and he's the sound of this band. And me and him and like the Joe Perry and the Steve Tyler and the David Lee Roth and Edward Van Halen, Jimmy Page and Robert Plant were those two guys. That's what he's saying. Mark is saying me and Mick are like the relationship between Joe Perry, Steven Tyler, David Lee Roth, and Eddie Van Halen, what they had for a short time, and Jimmy Page and Robert Plant, and what they had in that short time. Where there's two guys. It's just something that I personally have been wanting to do, is to work with Mick. I want to have a mint, but I don't want to be any more not professional. I really want to work with Mick again, I says that. What's wrong, Mark, dear? I've got bacon and eggs for you. Oh. What is it, dear? Well, I just want to work with Mick again, Mick Sweeta. We've had different situations and we've agreed to disagree, and we've disagreed. But I think we found common ground, good standing ground. Take them shoes off and ground yourself to the Mother Earth. Touch each other's hands and say, we ground, we connect, and watch your relationship bloom. And the common ground is, what is it, everybody? All you need is love. What's the ingredient? Love. All you need, Mark's singing, all you need is love. Love. Mick, that's all we need. The common ground is the original band, and myself for myself, but for the fans. The fans have been with us for so many years, including me, and given us so much love and been waiting for this to happen again. So I'm ecstatic. I'm so excited. I can't wait to be playing with the fellas and be up there with Mick on stage. I can't wait. And that sound that Mick has, that guitar. For the love of money. I guess that's not the song to show off Mick's talents, right? What was that one? John came up to me, he said, hey man, take my hand. There's a Mike Sweet. I said, no, Mr. Breeze, you can't bring a bad boy to his knees. Bullet boys. I just want a little taste of that tune. There's a Mick Sweeta. Shoot the preacher down. Calm down, all you religious folks, okay? We're going to listen to a song called Shoot the Preacher Down. Better be in their top 10. Shoot the preacher down just a little bit. Here we go. You're not hearing none of it if it's... There's Mick Sweeta.
That's right. Ooh, look out, y'all. You ever been watching late night TV? Saw a scary man came up to me and said, hey man, take my hand. Look at here.
All right.
No, mister, please.
You can't bring a bad boy to his knees. You gotta build him way out of town. Shoot the preacher down. You didn't hear any of that if they want to monetize my whole 2-hour podcast just for that taste of music. Absolutely 100%. I 100% agree. It's something very special and magical that the four of us have that sometime. Maybe individually we don't really realize that. What are you talking? And I give Mick all the credit too. I've opened my heart up. I've opened up my heart, and sometimes you have to really come with empathy and love and to find common ground. Remember that you are that other person having a different experience. Yes, indeed, if you're all into the unified field of consciousness, yes, we are all kind of more one where everything exists, but once you really get behind the idea that you are looking me in the eyes and you're going, I like to watch this guy's shit, but I'm really you having an experience on this planet, you really start to wake up and live, where you're like, oh, because everything you do will move you in a path. Everything. If you open that door up, oh, hey, a compliment to a stranger, whatever, it's just every little frequency that shoots off that's positive. Oh, right? Everything vibrates. Everything is energy. Everything is frequency. Raise that frequency. And that's what these bullet boys are doing. My God, what a ding dong day. They're raising that frequency. Raising their frequency. How do we do it, Shane? I don't know. You just be kind to everyone. You just have love in your heart and you just meditate. That's what I do. You know, everyone has this part of them that they don't want to let out because they're too ashamed or they're too scared that people are going to go, who the fuck's this guy over here having such a good time? You know, it's like, how free do you feel when you go to that, let's say a big family function or whatever, and you just decide, I don't give a fuck about any of these people, nothing. I'm just going to be me, and I'm going to be goofy, I'm going to be silly and happy and free. And people are like, dang, look at this. And then you leave there going, you know, that wasn't that painful to be there, and I just enjoyed myself because I'm in my own video game, enjoying my own thing, and I happen to be in this family scenario where they are indeed enjoying their own version of a video game and trying to make their way through it in life. We try not to hinder or hold back or contain or tell that other soul or being out there how they are to go along their path, because it is the video game. And you just feel so damn happy about it. One of my things to love to do, and this is going to be, well, I can't do it now, it's getting too cold, is I love to put my earbuds in and go out in the front lawn and take off my shoes and stand in that grass and listen to fucking music and dance and sing. And you're going, but Shane, there's traffic. And it's a busy street I live on. So there's a lot of fucking traffic going by. And yes, I can get caught up in the idea that, what are people thinking of me? Some of them are going, oh, look at this fucking a-hole over here. And others go, oh my God, look at this. The key here is that I do not care. Because I'm in my video game. And I'm doing what I want to do, and I'm happy, and the things that I choose to do make me happier, and therefore it raises that vibration. Let's get into it. I think I've done very good this time, you guys. But what is the meaning of life? Those answers are inside of this absolutely amazing biotechnological advanced system. That brain is not just mushy, gooey, fun goo-goo. It is an advanced system. And when you begin to figure out how to turn it all back on, junk DNA. There's nothing in the human body that's junk. Now, someone might say, what about the appendix? I don't have the answers for everything. But when scientists tell you you have junk DNA, no, you have turned off DNA. You'll learn about this. It'll start coming. Turns out there's a way to turn on DNA. It's all quantum physics. It's all quantum. Okay. Big Tone and bladder still surprisingly empty. I think we're going to make it all the way through here, and I think we're going to be okay, guys. No matter what happens, I think we're all going to be okay. Big Tone, Brother Shane, very enjoyable Jive Talkin' again. You get the 10 out of 10 this week. Thank you. I always love a good 10 out of 10. One day I will be an A+ rating on Social Blade. I will be a top 50 YouTube channel on YouTube. But this is the road we must hoe in order to go. I told you, I said it. I said it back then. My heart, my belief. Let me just clean some scrubs. I had a muffin earlier. I'm not going to zip zap all through you guys' comments here. So let's get to it. Big Tone. He says, David Coverdale will appreciate all the free time he has once he dumps his social media. I myself have never ever subscribed to any form of social media. Good. So I clearly don't know what I'm missing. But I do know one thing. I'm not missing all that free time. My social circle is small but tight. And if I want to share something with any of them, I'll simply send a message or pick up the phone and call them. I know that's an outdated concept. We're get more back to that. But it works for me. Mr. Cloverdale will have more time for the Botox appointments. Now, okay, Mr. Cloverdale. Now I see you say Coverdale up here, but you called him Mr. Cloverdale, which I actually like better. I actually like David Cloverdale way better. That's what he'll be. I don't know if he does Botox, but you know, there will come a time, and this is going to sound absolutely crazy for some people to understand this, but we will come to a time where every single thing that you've ever been through, we appreciate in some form or fashion, as bad as it is, as terrible as it is. You say, Shane, there's no way. But once you get on the other side of all that bad stuff, and it seems to pile up, you understand that it's the stuff that has molded you, has kept you going. There's a spirit, there's an intuition inside you that says, go, keep going. Remember what I told you about I meditated back to my younger self and said, you keep fucking going. Don't you let anybody bring you down. That's what I went back and told myself when I was in meditation. So now that kid had that information to sit here in this chair right now and know that I will be one of the 50 biggest YouTube channels on the platform, and I will, my podcast will be an award winning, but I don't accept awards or any of that, but it will be a award winning podcast. I don't accept any awards, good or bad, or maybe I accept them all. Big tone on Gene Simmons. Just can't wait to help himself. Those comments were very insensitive, way out of line and juvenile. Probably best left unspoken. I don't usually agree with Eddie Trunk very much, but he hits the nail on the head with this comment. Did you go listen to that? Gene's behavior. He needs to shut up already. But hey, what are you gonna do? I listened to it. I listened to about 15 minutes of it. It's 30 minutes of him going, how dare you, to Gene. Your impersonation of Dave Mustaine sounds a lot like the prospector from Toy Story. But he is correct regarding covers. I don't know what that is, Torch. The prospector. Is that the potato head? Prospector? Is it the one from part 2 or 3? Oh, okay. Big tone here on Bobby Rock, that beautiful drum solo. Was always underrated in my opinion. I saw him open decades ago, and I remember what an impression he left. You saw him open for a band? Impression left a... Who was that band? Was it Vinnie Vincent Invasion? He left a wonderful feeling. You loved it. Bobby Rock. Big Tone says, no disrespect ever to the Diablo community when I wish well to the Diablo Big Four. Oh, I know, yeah. The moniker that you, Brother Shane, bestowed on the four of us, because you're the Big Four, always here on the podcast, is true, yes. That have been with you since the inception. I think we were very honored when you did that. And I always include well wishes to everyone. That's good. That's fine. I really genuinely enjoy the show and the channel. That's why I launched the hashtag Get Shane. Well, that's spelled wrong, but it's getting our hashtags right. You've got 2 S's in there. We need an A in that. Hashtag Get Shane to 100K campaign. I think others will enjoy it as well. Well, your good deeds and wonderful things is going to get me to 100 million subscribers. You know? And maybe we'll get you guys great big diamond fucking necklaces to wear that says Big 4. I don't know. I'm just saying. They shan't keep me contained yet another day. YouTube. You understand me now. Is this slightly unhinged? Do people go, yeah, it's unhinged, dude. But you gotta watch even if they're doing this, you've got to watch Shane's videos, every single second of them. Because you never know what's going to happen in them. Even if they don't like it, I'm fine with that. And if they love it, watch it. What I've noticed, and this is true, if someone likes you, they're gonna love it. They're gonna watch it once or twice. If they don't like you, they're gonna watch it 6 or 7 times, and there'll be 3 or 4 comments in there too. I gotta watch this again to tell him more how I don't like him. So either way, whatever scrubs your noodles, do them, baby. We're winding down what has been a difficult and challenging year for a lot of us out there. You ain't kidding. And your show has provided tons of positive distraction and entertainment. And that's what I aim to do. My heart is open to you. I love each and every one of you that spends your very valuable time with me when you could be using it to meditate, if I'm being honest. You could carve out 30 minutes of this podcast and spend it reconnecting with yourself. It's the only way you get all the software programs. Come on, you computer nuts understand, right? Your brain is a receiver, you know? It's like your cell phone. It's like your, anything else. It's like a radio station. It's like anything else. You're connected, right? And so all of the negativity that's in the brain is just simply little viruses that you can meditate and clear out and clean the system. That's the way I'm looking at it. Merry Christmas to all. And a little Christmas tree there. I heard the most wonderful little story about Christmas trees and why people have the tree and bring the tree inside. But we don't want to kill the tree, do we? Just so you can, scream at your family. Who's going to clean up all the dirty needles? I did it last year. We're getting there, okay? And as always, keep them coming, brother. Heavy metal emoticons and the power punches for our man, Big Tone. Hashtag get Shane to 100K. Hashtag RIP Brother J. Johnny coming in here. Got a little piece here. Yeah. Johnny B coming in. Again, another one of the big 4. I mean, I'm not trying to give you guys little. I mean, I did just tell you I'd give you a diamond necklace. No, I'm not giving you that. None of that. How could I even afford that? But it's not a status thing. It's just the fact. The fact is, you guys are the big 4. You guys are commenters. You're always around. I appreciate that. It's a lot of time. Johnny B, maybe other YouTubers are just like they don't care, but to me, I do. Let me get to 1 million, then I won't care. Right? Let me get there first. Johnny B comes in he's got him numbered. Number 1. A couple things I forgot to cover last week. COC making a new double album is ridiculously awesome. News that I said nothing about. I've been a fan of them since the early 90s. And they've always just gotten better and better. I added a better. America's Volume Dealer and Deliverance are absolute treasures. Yeah, I had to. I went out and bought that one. Johnny's number 2. He's done his number 1. Now it's time for number 2. The new Stanley Simmons song is actually really good, and I enjoyed it. I hope an album ensues. See, there you go. We don't have to be part of cool kid clubs where we don't allow people in this and we don't do that and we don't. Why? It's a solo trip, baby. The beauty of it is it's a solo trip back to everyone else. Isn't that the beauty of it? It's a solo trip back to the collectiveness of it all. And the collective shared joy and love. And the collective shared joy in goodness and things being good for all people. You know, you gotta stir some shit up and get it stirred to the top before you can truly get there to where it's like, I love the neighbor. Whatever happened to all that stuff? Love thy neighbor as you would love yourself, and the golden rule. We just got too far away from them. But the good news is we're coming back with a sledgehammer. A golden sledgehammer going. The days are over. The days are done. Number 3 on Johnny's list here, he says the Gene Simmons is definitely a sweet boy. If you watch the documentary about when they got back together and they all met up for the first time to jam, you can see Gene genuinely happy to see both Ace and Peter. Paul, on the other hand, no. Paul was fake and all show for the cameras, but Gene, he had a heart under all the money grubbing. It's all shtick. I mean, the thing that always struck me with Gene Simmons was when I was reading his book and he talked about, I mean, it's like, dude, you're like 7 years old and you're already on to these. He said, oh yeah, I would draw these posters saying your comic books for, 5 cents. And then the kids would come over and I'd give them 5 cents a comic, and then I'd go down to the comic book shop and sell all that. I mean, I understand the entrepreneurial spirit of it, but it's like, for God's sakes, go fucking rub your penis in the dirt or something. Go do children's things. Read the comic book and pretend to be the superhero and not, holy shit, he's got a Superman number 5. That's easily worth $50. Hey, I'll give you a nickel for that. It's like, come on. Let's get back to living life, not being the alarm clocks. You know? Johnny B's number 4 here, David Coverdale, retiring is a good thing. His Deep Purple years were extremely entertaining and jammerific. He's made some darn good albums over the years, helped to launch a bunch of careers for others, and is an icon. I respect him for going out now instead of 10 years from now when he's doing the casino tours. It is rough, isn't it? When it's like, oh, they're over at the Mohican. But in the other side of that, it's like, keep going, man. If that's your passion, if you're like, I want to die on this stage. Maybe David Lee Roth says, I'm going to do one of my flying fucking kicks and die in midair, We do that spinning that thing, and impale himself on his last show. It's just, you got to live your life the way you want to live it. And if that means, Shane, my God, I'm 55 years old and I dreamed of being a fucking skateboarder, then you know exactly what you need to do to get there. If that is your absolute passion, then you need to get the body in shape and do the things and get to the things and do the things. You can do it. No matter what it is, but you have to put the passion. Say, now it is time. This week on the Why Files, this is Johnny B. Steele. We're going to just brush gently on the topic of Egypt and what's going on over there. A bunch of scientists and Indiana Jones types, cool type of fellas, are out there digging around and decided to throw a few LiDAR scanners underground to see what they could. And lo and behold, there's a ton of stuff under the pyramids directly, yes. And I believe that those pyramids are some kind of, here's what I believe in a very succinct sentence. We are not the most advanced human beings that have been here on this planet before, and that all the pyramids around the world connect. It's almost like a energy source, a free energy source. Worldwide free energy source. And a massive fortress just on the other side. I don't believe those pyramids were ever tombs at all. I don't believe that. There's still a lot of work that needs to be done in order to reach this network or tunnels and a massive room, but they're starting now. They've also mentioned a large tic-tac like object sitting down there in the middle of it all. What do you think that could be? It's amazing how quickly that story left us. I'm not going to get into all the details, but the helicopter that went down, they were transporting somebody, and the helicopter went down in a lake, but there was no mention of it. They kind of just brushed it all off. People died in that helicopter, like a military style helicopter went down. I can't remember where it was, Midwest somewhere or something. It was like, I was strange that nobody talked about that. It was like not on the news anywhere. It was up for a minute, gone. If this piques your interest at all, I suggest the YouTube channel Uncharted X to learn more about this topic. I think it's really important. I don't know just how as of yet, but it is. It is important because I believe that every single thing that is going on right at this very moment is coming together. Astrologically, findings in Egypt, quantum physics, which now explains or talks more about frequency, and it's not so much logic, physical reality, but it's more than that with quantum physics. And my alien friends, it's all connected. The cosmic clock has shifted, if we're talking astrological, and this is time periods that change and move into new things. And we're moving out of the mine and we're moving back to all. That's what I think is at the very bottom or the very top of the whole thing is that we are leaving a time period, a Pisces or whatever it is, a time period of it's mine, get out of my way, and we're moving into a new darling of the angel Aquarius, where it's all. Because there's no lack and there's no scarcity. And that's part of the game that's been played is to keep us going, gas, eggs, there's not enough of it. And then you just see somewhere around the world where they go, oh no, no, our eggs, they are 22-cent American, yes, and we throw them away. Oh God, they go bad so fast, we throw them over the cliff. It's things that are taught. You've got to be scared. You've got to stay in fear. In the richest country in the world, you don't have poor people unless you have the poor people just to remind the middle people. You can be there. But don't you want to be there? You can be there, but just remember what's there. Yeah. So I think all of it's churning out. That's why I'm in I feel so alive, because I feel it in my energy that everything is churning in a wonderful new direction. But in order to do that, every lie has to come out on the table. Sometimes that's going to hurt. That's going to be something you're like, but I like that. But it all has to come out. We have to start fresh with no negativities and no lies and no taking advantage of people. That's the day. Wouldn't that just be wonderful if everybody had everything that they ever wanted? Wouldn't it just be, they've told you, well, that'll never happen, Shane. That just can't happen. That's scarcity. That's scarcity talking to you. You can have everything you've ever dreamed of. I have a dragon that flies. Can't see him. He's in several dimensions higher than I am. But I got a fucking dragon. And he flies around me and he says, Shane, I can't wait. I can't wait to meet with you again, Shane. Just make your way through. Remember, it's a video game. I'm telling you, you are the master of your reality. If you feed it positive magic, you'll get positive magic in return. Can I get an ding, ding, ding? I was going to say, can I get an amen? But no, I don't want to use that old, outdated term. Oh, he's going to talk about my welcome back. Your lyric, welcome back and grab a snack and get yourself some crack. I didn't mean that last part. Had me laughing so hard, I almost don't drive that. Hold on. Had me laughing so hard, I almost drove my truck into a ditch. And that's that propane truck. Don't do that. and into a farm filled with livestock. Dude, don't do that. So that happened. Anywhoots, I hope everyone is doing feast and staying warm. Until next time, keep looking up, keep asking questions, and never let your dipstick get too wet. I thought that's what the dipstick was for. To keep submerged. What am I saying at the end of the day, guys? He says, God, he talks like a fucking wizard half the time, and half the time he talks like a crazy man, and half the time he talks like a wonderful lover. What I'm trying to tell you is we are on a path of absolute pure bliss and wonderful. But with any good new era of time, golden era, divine golden era of time, you must churn up all of it. We have to see it all out on the table. And, you know, that's the way that is. And I would just call out to the world and with my frequency and say, come here and hang out with me and let's party and let's not worry about every little tittle bittle boom boom that's going on in the radio and the news.
Fucking news story.
That's what they want from you. They want your nervous system scared. And when your nervous system isn't scared, but it's chilling with me and having a silly fucking good time, and you're learning a new instrument, you're like, I'm going to paint for the first time. You know, I've always wanted to learn how to knit. Do it. Make those things happen for yourself. Do it and do it now. That's what I'm talking about, baby. All right, there's your hearts. Miss Althea. Let's see Mike Buchanan's. He's got, oh my Lord. Let's get Sticky Doll out of the way first. They'd appreciate that. They're like, we got to sit to the very damn last minute of that son of a bitch to hear our names get called. Professor Shane, with all your recent scientific intelligence, your Gene Simmons imitation sounds like Bobcat Goldthwait. Well, I figured if my Gene Simmons, I got to do him where he's like on stage. Oh, yeah? You know, that's the Gene Simmons. You don't want to hear that kind of salsy, whatever. Some guy, some Egyptian guy, he sounds like a Egyptian guy that just pulled up in a Rolls Royce and is asking, how'd you like to make a little money tonight? I'd rather do the Gene Simmons. It's, oh, do you know why? Because I am the diner of love. When did they start doing that, by the way? Can I have just a moment here? I mean, there's a weirdness that I saw. Doctor of Love, right? They call me Dr. Love, right? And at the very end, he does this. Do you know why? Do you know why? He does it like 3 or 4 times. And you're like, why, Gene? And then they go, 'cause I am the doctor of love. It's like, do. I mean, it's neither here nor there. It doesn't, I just thought I'd bring that up. I don't know. Dave Mustaine, however, spot on. Love you, Shana Rooney. This sounds like Bobcat Goldthwait. Last time I saw Bobcat Goldthwait, my God, he was in Police Academy. Or he was hanging out with Nirvana or something. He had a good movie or two, didn't he? Bobcat Goldthwait? Goldthwait? Miss Althea, boom, boom, doo-doo. Baby, how have you been? Boom, boom, boom. Miss Althea, boom, boom, boom. Miss Althea coming in here, the dumbstruck fool says, watching and commenting on Saturday, December 13th, and I would be extremely remiss if I did not say that it just happens to be He-Day's birthday. That was 4 days ago. He would have turned 61 years old if he were still with us. And he's just right here. He's off in 5 dimensions, right? Fifth dimension. Also celebrating birthdays today are Dana Strum, and I see him a lot in Waste Some Time with Jason Green's YouTube channel. Ted Nugent, Morris Day and the Time. Now you're talking. Dick Van Dyke, who is 100 years old and just as sweet as he's ever been, isn't he? Just a wonderfully sweet as he's ever been. God love him. 100 years old and Dick Van Dyke's going to be alive to see the ascension of humanity. I love that. And if he doesn't, he's just right there on the other side of it. And someone named Taylor Swift, who has become extremely tiresome to me. It's her birthday too? I mean, everyone got the Taylor fever. What are you going to do about it? Once you get it, it's the flu. Miss Althea on David, the Dave Man Cloverdale. Don't care, was never a fan, but his plastic surgery, so he has to, has made him look like Martha Stewart. Yeah, so he is, so Big Tone knows about it. Gene Simmons, Miss Althea on Gene Simmons, open mouth, insert foot. Again, please stop talking, Mr. Gene. I personally think Shannon also owes a public apology for referring to the empty chair in memoriam for Ace at the Kennedy Center as her purse chair. That's kind of grody. Hey, I had a purse chair. Although, I always like to have them separation chairs, you know. If I was sitting in that chair, I'd be thanking Ace. There wouldn't be a purse sitting in it, but I'd be leaning over it every second going, by the way, Ace, thank you for that. Because I didn't want to sit next to that fucking guy, whoever that is. Yeah, a purse chair. Purse chair. The statement was equally as disrespectful, especially with Ace's own daughter present to accept the award on behalf of her dead father. Ah, Ace, are you hearing that? Your daughter did it. He was probably there. I listened to Eddie Junk in the Trunk's rant, and all I have to say is, preach, brother. I agree with every word he said 1,000,000%. That's a notarized affidavit right there. That is Miss Althea's stamp of, was I right? Was it straight 30 minutes? Because I was listening to about 15 minutes of it, and he wasn't even breathing hard yet. So she has stamped and notarized that. Miss Althea on Dave Mustaine, I agree on his as good or better philosophy on covers, although I know Ride the Lightning is not technically a cover for him, since he co-wrote it in the first place. If you are going to re-record something only to have it just like the original, then why bother? That's a very good point. Well, he says this is the last album, so he probably just had to say, I got to do a Metallica one. Miss Althea on that sweet Bob Rock drum solo. I saw him play with Vinnie Vincent Invasion a couple of times. And I can personally attest that a monster player he is. Met him, once back then, and he was very generous and kind. His arms were as big as my head. Yeah, he's got them. Although, ain't as healthy as that fucking guy's arms. I mean, my heavens, man. See, if I wanted to look like that guy, I could. I'd never wear that belt, though. Are you kidding me? I like cinch belts. You guys probably can't even see that because it's so low. But the Carol Burnett Show, Miss Althea on that. Topic revisited. Yes, there are episodes available on Tubi. However, the skit where Eunice goes on the Gong Show can be viewed unto itself here on YouTube. God, keeping it bitchy. Yeah, I brought it back. And we brought it back in this. Keeping it bitchy, keeping it raw. Do you feel like people would say that my podcast is raw? Hard-hitting raw. Is this a podcast? I'm asking you now. Is this a podcast? All right, let's get Miss Althea. What do you think of that song? Let me know. That was a great tune. That was that. You know, my grandmother loved the Platters. Bands like that. Smoke gets in your eyes and stuff. So I have always had this thing for doo-wop, the coasters. Not so much the Four Tops and like the kind of the bigger ones, but like the coasters and the Platters, and you know, so it's just kind of natural for me to go back to 1950s doo-wop. Michael, the 69 Buchanan, who came up with this, my good gravy.
Jive Talkin with Shane got the crowd on fire, with jokes and rants lifting us higher, as the clapping and toes are tapping like
It's like I'm at a rally. We're not done burning everything to the ground. I'm a lover. Don't you say you're a lover but not a fighter, huh, Shane? No, I didn't say that. I'm a lover. I am a divine masculine. Don't get me wrong. I'm a viper. But I bring love to the table. This guy is a guy that may not be bringing love to the table. And furthermore, this guy. Oh, it just starts over. Okay. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I've done that face a few times at work. I'm not going to lie about that. But isn't that interesting that now I'm looking at an AI version of myself and I'm saying, you know, I don't like the face that I'm pulling there. Is that the face that people have seen me do? Yeah, look at how close the beard is, guys. I'm telling you, guys, come hear it from my long-winded mouth, all right? If you ever see some little 15-second, 30-second clip of me saying something pop up somewhere, and you go, I don't think that's Shane. It's not. Because I'll give you a 45-minute long-winded version or whatever, okay? But I preach the power of love. You understand and you know true here. I preach the power of unconditional love. That is a man who, although fiery, may be preaching it, but, you know, you don't have to be so crazy about it. Mike Buchanan here, and he's gonna wing-ding us out with this son of a gun. Here we go. Well, my friend, I'm sitting here eating a big bowl of homemade gumbo. Oh! Watching the snow fall outside. And it is currently 7 degrees. Isn't that just a delight? If you're taking it all in and not thinking about other bullshit. Or you've got CNN on in the back. Enjoy the window, enjoy the gumbo. Thought to myself, what better way to stay inside than to watch the latest episode of Jive Talkin? It warms the cockles. On this week's Movies That Are Bad But We Love Them Anyway, a get back to the first season of Mystery Science Theater 3000. Try to say it once good. I think I just watched this one or started to. Gamera versus Barugon, 1966. When the color hits, scream and run. This is not a drill. Attention, attention. This is an emergency transmission. All programming has been interrupted. If you can hear this message, seek shelter immediately. A wonderful, just off topic, but if you get a chance, go listen to this fucking song. Now, I love my band Die Monster Die, old time. We got a song off of the 2013 record we put out called Don't Panic, This Is Only a Test. If you're receiving this, and go listen to that. So if you get a minute, go listen to Don't Panic, This Is Only a Test by Die Monster Die. Tell me what you think of it. He was a master lyricist. We were a horror punk band, horror rock, horror metal band. Wrote one song about a horror movie, Dead Alive. That's it. Every other story of horror came from that man's mind. Mr. Rest in Peace, but he's right here. Zero DeLorean, a.k.a. Hugh Van. But love it. Now, we're going to get in your movie. Do not look at the light. I repeat, do not look at the light, Caroline. Reports confirm rapid temperature collapse. Streets are crystallizing. Buildings are locking in place mid-evacuation. There are no fires. There is no sound. The quiet is... It's wrong. Sirens intensify. Update. A second massive life form has been detected approaching the impact zone. Designation Gamera. Size catastrophic. Condition burned but mobile. This is not a rescue. This is a last stand. Gamera is advancing directly toward Barugon. Flames are visible from multiple appendages. Collateral damage is severe. Stay inside, stay down, pray. Static. Field report.
Barugon has fired again. Prism discharge refracting across the skyline. Emergency crews are frozen in place. Communication failing sector by sector. This city is becoming glass.
Wait. Gamera is changing. Fire against ice, heat against crystal. The shockwave has knocked out cameras across 3 districts. We are losing aerial feed. Audio confirms roaring. One continuous defiant sound. Critical update. Gamera has been struck directly by the prism beam. Visuals shows staggering. The visuals show staggering partial immobilization. If Gamera falls, this broadcast will end shortly thereafter because he's landing on the news building. Pause. Then, Gamera is moving. Repeat, Gamera is still moving. He is forcing himself forward. Flames intensify. Impact registered. Barugon's outer structure is cracking. Crystal fragmentation observed. The ground is breaking beneath them. Sirens wail. Final update. Hostile entity Barugon has been neutralized. Do not cheer. This is not a victory. This city is devastated. Casualties are uncountable. Power grids are down. Emergency response is overwhelmed. Gamera remains standing in the blast zone. He is not advancing. He is not celebrating. He appears exhausted. He's pooped. I guess Gamera is the good guy. Damage sustained is severe. He is withdrawing. They all got to go back to the water, though, right? Let the record show we survived because something else chose to burn for us. Static. This concludes the emergency broadcast. Post-incident assessment. The 5 stars. A full-scale kaiju catastrophe where alarms scream, cities freeze, and salvation arrives, breathing fire and pain. Grab your favorite beverage, sit in your favorite chair, and pop some popcorn and press play. And then he gets into his news here. How do we do on that? Mind if I have a mint? We're almost to the end of it. All right. We're almost to the end. You've made it this far. I'm proud of you. I hope you get something. You know, my love is tender and free, and it comes in many forms, and it's vast. Okay? This is how I like to share it with you. David Coverdale. Mike Buchanan on David Coverdale. First off, I wish him all the very best in retirement. Going to miss Whitesnake, but knowing that they are still there for me to listen to at any time I want is comforting. And some days I get you, Dave, wanting to get rid of all the social media, maybe someday. But for now, Shane's just going to have to put up with my shenanigans for a while longer. That's great. Let's ride on into the new earth together. What do you say, baby? We're all on the trip. We're all on that road, and we're all on our way. So let's ride that trip together. As my list of hey man, you've got to check this out, grows longer and longer by the day, and it is, and it's a little overwhelming for me, because I'll tell you, I get, and he knows this, maybe 10%, maybe 5% of the ever-growing list. But that list is there. And that list can be revisited. in time for other series and stuff and whatever, whatever the mind can imagine, right? On Gene Simmons here. Don't think I heard about him and a piece he wrote. Don't think I heard about him and a piece he wrote about Ace, I guess, but it's nice of him to own up to whatever it was and to apologize. I'm thinking Shannon made him do it. Well, she's talking about her damn purse sitting in Ace's chair. You know, if they get that seating chart, oh, I got to sit next to Ace, Jane. Oh, now I got a purse seat. Mike Buchanan on Dave Mustaine. While I'm like a kid on Christmas morning about the new Megadeth album, I'm also like a kid who got underwear on Christmas morning, knowing that it is going to be the last Megadeth album and looking forward to hearing Ride the Lightning and the rest of the album. Got nothing to say about Static X as I am not familiar with them well enough to discuss. Yes. Nothing to discuss there. You asked about L'Amour and a tattoo place. Yes. I myself don't remember that. But there very well could have been a business in that area that did tattoos. Yeah, this guy was going on about how everyone would come out of the club and he would, like he started doing, he never did skulls and shit like that, horror tattoos and what metal kids would want. And he said that club was the reason. And I noticed that I said L'Amour's every time, and then once said L'Amour. So I'm sorry about that. I know how you guys get worked up. You asked about L'Amour and a tattoo place. I myself don't remember that, but it very well could have been a business in that area that did tattoos. If you've never been to that area, it was really a place for sightseeing, if you get what I'm saying. So the bad part of town, or the exciting part of town, as we say. All right, it is now time for the Jive Talkin' Jokes of the Week. Mike Buchanan will end us off with episode 210 of Jive Talkin' with Shane Diablo. A wonderful pleasure and delight to spend a little bit of time with you, as I love to do every single week, and will continue to do for many, many weeks and months and years to come. But I appreciate you all very much. Now get out there and seize that day. All right? Let's do the jokes and get on out. Why did John McClane stick around the Nakatomi building? Because he didn't want to leave Holly hanging. Now, if you don't know any of that, what he's talking about, go watch Die Hard. How much does Santa pay for parking? Nothing. It's on the house. Yeah. You think that Santa would be more excited for apartment buildings, wouldn't you? Just land on the building. Say, oh, thank God I can squirt my magic all over get a whole setup and taken care of. What carol do they sing in a mental hospital? Do you hear what I hear? Or do you see what I see? What a perfect stocking stuffer, ? A foot? Oh, I shit on that one. What's a perfect stocking stuffer, ? What's a perfect stocking stuffer? A foot is, you put your foot in your sock. Then you put it in your mouth, okay? And finally, what do you call people who are afraid of Santa Claus? Claustrophobic. Yeah. Hashtag get Shane to 100K every damn day. Hashtag get Shane a Razzie Manazzi. Oh yeah. And hashtag get Shane some fucking high paying sponsors. Really, anyone will do. High paying. I'd appreciate that. I want you guys, well, now I've taken heed in you guys' love for the holiday season. So yes, indeed, as you're listening to this podcast, we have some Christmas goodies for next week's videos. No one else is going to know that. You're going to know that because you made it this far in the podcast. You're going to know that next week, leading up to Christmas, you're going to be getting Christmasier videos from me. Okay? So look forward to that. Get out there. And if I could ask you for one question, and I think you guys will start to get the hang of this when I say, but if I can ask for one pretty please for you, is for you guys to begin the process of going in and taking some time, some quality, peaceful, quiet time for you and this beautiful, magnificent meat sack. Top of the line biotechnology. You could say, this old ratty thing, Shane, it's so far, I've been smoking for 50 years. It's never, ever too late. I'm telling you now. Come in and find who you are. It's right there. You look in the eyes. When you're brushing your teeth and you look in the mirror and then you look away, because you don't want to look at yourself in the eyes, get to the point where you're looking yourself in the eyes and you say, my God, I love you. My God, the scars on that face, that scars on that body, the scars that have been through this thing they call life, the ups and the downs, the sadnesses and sorrows, the joys, I love you. You see that light in your eyes and you can look in that mirror 5 minutes and say, you've been through hell, pal. You've been doing it, but you're doing the work. Watch how it changes you inside when you find that self-confidence in yourself where you say, I love this person who's been through hell or has not, Just love yourself. You can inspire everyone around you. If you learn to love yourself, you can inspire every single person around you in your vector, every person that you come in contact with. If you learn to truly love yourself. Okay, guys, no more talking now. You're so happy about that. Ooh, I almost get that. Ooh. I don't know how it goes. What's that? Nine Inch Nails song. That's my own song. Baby, gonna do it all night long with you. Jive Talkin with Shane. Jive Talkin. Jive Talkin. Jive Talkin, baby, honey, girl. You never lose it to the world. You're gonna find it, gonna love it, gonna watch every episode. You're gonna love my podcast forever. You're gonna love my podcast for years. Jeez, this is falling apart. Until next time, baby, gonna jive, jive you between the ears.